What up, everyone? Bayside Llama 3 here today. Before I get into it, if you want to what happened to last week's review, chapter 106, I basically decided, starting with last week, and plus those weeks that I kind of went in which I was a bit too tired to do reviews, I just started thinking that if a chapter comes by and I feel like there's just nothing I can really say about it, like it's just too straightforward or not enough happens, then I'm just going to, not review it. Last week's chapter was one of those. It was a good chapter, with character development for Yuno and Asta, but I didn't really cared for them. It's just a good moment for them, but I just felt I didn't have enough to talk about. But today's review is different. Today we're going through chapter 107 of Black Clover, titled, if I can actually find the freaking title, titled The King of the Clover Kingdom. Oh yeah, for the very first time, we're going to actually see the King of the Clover Kingdom. So the chapter begins, and the king is coming out after the Magic Emperor, Julius introduced him, and Asta's asking Yuno, like, what type of person is the king anyway? And the king comes out, appearance-wise, he looks pretty ridiculous. He kind of, like, face-wise, he looks like a fucking snake. Body-wise, he looks like Eggman's retarded cousin. And personality-wise, he's kind of an asshat. He just starts screaming at the people of the kingdom, calling them ungrateful peasants because they're not cheering loud enough. And now he's just ranting about how divine and powerful his magic is and how Julius ain't got shit on him. And everyone's just like, why couldn't the Magic Emperor be the king of the kingdom? And he's just, at this point, the king is just kind of like so upset. So he's like, okay, I have a plan. I'll tell them the news, and then they'll love me and forget about you. So he tells them that they found the hideout of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, which is a really big deal, and that they're going to put together a team of specifically powerful magic knights called the Royal Knights, and it's going to be put together via an exam. They don't go into how this exam's going to be, but if I had to guess, sounds like we're going to get Chunin exams art. There's probably going to be a written part and maybe a tournament part, stuff like that. And so everyone starts cheering, and Asta has to be that dude, the one who like cramps up the moment. Asta's just like, why is the king the one who is picking the members of the Royal Knights and not the Magic Emperor? Like, we cheer for the Magic Emperor, not the king. And Yuno gets on this too. Like, both Asta and Yuno are just talking trash about the Clover King. Eventually it just gets to a point where Asta's just going down the line of all the flaws of the Clover King, how lame he is, how he doesn't seem all that strong, he doesn't have the skills to pay the bills, and even Yuno just like, Asta, you should really learn how to read the situation, even though everything you say is true. It's like, Yuno, you have no right to talk trash. And you hear that some of the Magic Knight captains are just, getting a good laugh out of them, and of course the king, being an asshole, demands that Yuno and Asta be executed immediately. And, well, no one does anything, except for Julius, who walks up and defends Asta and Yuno, asks the king to calm himself, be cool, and the king eventually does, just like, get over it. And so now, Julius, goes to the crowd. It's like, I have great expectations for the Royal Knights. Everyone, get ready to display your strength for this exam. And so around the end of the chapter, well, first of all, before we get to that, Julius is actually talking to Asta and Yuno and telling them about how he has high hopes for them. They should stay humble and keep pushing forward. And now at the end of the chapter, Asta and Yuno are just kind of chilling out together. Yuno is just like, hey Asta, I'm gonna get in the Royal Knights because I'm Yuno. But don't get mad when I get in and you don't. And Asta's like, yeah, whatever the fuck you say, I'm gonna fight the Midnight Sun. And we even see Asta, he's like, but first I have to master control of that power. And we see, his demon form in the background. which is kind of interesting because, like I said, it was made pretty clear Asta can control himself while in demon form. I guess by mastering the power, he might mean like being able to activate it whenever he wants. Because that's something we don't know. Like, can he cut it on and cut it off whenever he wants? Because when he was actually in it, he had pretty good control of himself. And the chapter ends with them hearing off screen someone yelling, "Leo!" And we get to see the new captain of the Crimson Lions just knocks Leo in his face, Leopold. And she's just like, "You stupid piece of shit, we came in 5th place. What the fuck have you been doing since Fugalon's been out?" And, the chapter ends with just Asta, staring. He feels like they've just stepped right into a bloodbath. So the first thing I want to bring up is actually the new Crimson Lion captain. She had one line in the previous chapter in which she basically was just like, "Damn it," about when she heard that they got in 5th place. But now, personality-wise, we see she's kind of angry. Now, is this her personality all the time or just in this moment? I don't know. But one thing I just wanted to bring up that I didn't think about when they first showed her is that the Vermilion family is always in charge of the Crimson Lions. So this character, is most likely Leo's older sister, considering that Fugalon was also Leo's, older brother. Also, I just thought about it, I don't think they've said her name yet, but I could probably take a good guess at what it's going to be, because both Fugalon and Leopold, the whole thing with their names is that they have Leo, which obviously is another way to say lion, in their names. Fuglion and Leopold. So her name probably has Leo somewhere in it as well. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, this was about the Clover King. Throughout the story, they bring up how, like, the Diamond Kingdom's very corrupt, and how the Clover Kingdom's just, like, even though it has bad parts too, it's just overall the best place to live. Honestly, with a king like this, I don't know how. He seems like a total asshat. Like, I would not be surprised. Earlier in this chapter, I kind of skimmed over, but Julius did say that at some point, these two young men, Asta and Yuno, might be the shields to protect your life. I don't know what Julius means. I have heard some people theorizing that Julius might end up being a bad guy at some point. I don't think that's true, but for whatever reason, I could totally see an arc of someone trying to assassinate the king. Like, he just seems like a totally killable guy. And this exam, if I had to guess, like I said, I referenced the Shūnen exams earlier, and I think that is kind of how it's going to be. Like, there might be a written exam and an actual tournament to decide who's going to be on the Royal Knights. It's established that the Royal Knights, it's not just going to be like between regular people. Like, they've already shown that some of the captains are excited for it, so most likely it's going to be Magic Knight captains competing with other, regular Magic Knights. Maybe there's going to be a rule like only one captain can be part of the Royal Knights. I don't think they stated how many people are going to be in it. I'm kind of thinking, let's say, what's a good number? Let's say 7. Let's say there's going to be 7 in the team, and out of those 7, only one Magic Knight captain can go, and everyone else is going to be, lower ranking Magic Knights. Obviously, Asta and Yuno are going to be part of it, because Asta's the main character and Yuno's his rival. If there's only one captain allowed, or if there's multiple captains, I kind of hope a few of them go, just so we can get more out of them. If there's just one captain, I'm hoping it's one that we just haven't got a lot out of yet. Like, what's his name? The captain, he was in this chapter, the one with the slick black hair and the big smile. I don't know his name. I forget the name of his, I forget the name of his Magic Knight team now I think about it, but whatever. Like, he would be pretty cool. He had, like, chain magic in the Kidnapped Children arc, I believe. The Blue Rose captain would be one to get more stuff out of. Probably, no joke, I could totally see them putting Noelle on the team and the Silver Eagles captain, just so we can get more interaction between that family, the Silva family. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just assuming that there's only going to be one captain on this team. I kind of want Yami to have another fight, but Yami's going to have fights later on in the series. Let's see, what else? If it is a tournament, I'm actually interested in seeing, like, who will Asta go up against. Like, I really want to see Asta fight Leopold, just because, Leopold said, like, I'm going to be your rival. And Asta, from day one, was always like, I already have a rival, don't need another one. It's like, Come on, give Leopold a chance. And the Midnight Eye. I'm actually interested in how they figured out where their hideout is. And probably, knowing fiction, how the Midnight Eye is like their main like bad force. The main bad guys, really even more than the Diamond Kingdom. It's probably not going to be like them finally taking them out. Lich is probably going to do something. As well, they're probably going to have more higher ups, because the 3 strongest members, even stronger than Lich, the leader of the Midnight Sun, were, Veto, Fauna, and the other one. But, right now, Fauna's gone, Veto's dead, so of their strongest members, only one's left. I guess you can count that science girl, I forget her name. She seemed pretty tough. I believe she had it's like slime magic or something, right? No, she had fire magic. Yeah, she had fire magic. She was seemed pretty tough, but I don't think she's like on Veto's level. Like Veto was strong enough to survive an onslaught from multiple like really strong magic knights. So if I'm guessing, they're probably going to introduce like new members of the 3 Eyes, or just totally like a whole new hierarchy of the Midnight Sun. Like so far with the Midnight Sun, we know they had the lower ranked members, and then they had Lich, and then they had the 3 Eyes. So maybe there's gonna be something like there's really strong members who are like right below Lich's level, who are still a threat. Something like that. I was thinking that this is probably gonna be like one last thing. When they finally do get to that arc where they go after the Midnight Eye, it's probably gonna finally be like an arc where more than just Asta gets fights. Like I don't think there's been any fight. No, with exception of like one or two focused fights, and Yami's fight with Lich that one time. There's not been very many fights in the series that aren't mainly Asta centric. Like we've had a handful throughout this series, so I'm thinking we're probably gonna get a whole bunch of fights, like one-on-ones to different people. Like like Yuna will get a person to fight, Asta will get a person to fight, stuff like that. So overall, pretty enjoyable chapter. It's above average. I guess I give it like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Based on Alma 3, shining out.